Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Mr. Almighty Lewis back at you with another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to embrace low energy. Alright, so if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and you hit the notification icon down below. Alright, so how do you embrace low energy? So in case you haven't noticed yet, my channel is primarily focused on introverts, and for the most part, us introverts, we don't express as much energy as we would, you know, really want to sometimes, because sometimes we're in like very high energy venues and stuff, and you sort of walk in there and you're a little bit like paranoid, and you're like, what the hell is going on here, like like this is all the high energy and stuff. You may be more like zen, more like quiet, more like I don't want to be part of this shit, but I don't know how I got here. Maybe you had to do it because one of your friends pushed you along, or brought you along, my bad, and or somebody pushed you into it, or maybe you have to go there for work. I don't know, but for some reason you got there, and then you're surrounded by all this high energy, but you're sort of like calm, and you're more like low energy, more conservative, and stuff like that. And so, yeah. So here's the thing: like, how do you actually embrace that? How do you embrace that low energy? Because you see, like I've said, we're surrounded in a world where usually it's so crazy, man. Like, you may be watching this and you may be an introvert, and funny enough, you may be surrounded by a bunch of extroverts, and extroverted people tend to be more out there, be more high energy, be more social and everything, and so they like to be in crowded environments and stuff like that. And you may just be, since you're an introvert, you may just enjoy being low energy, being conservative, being in your zone, being always focused, being in a quiet area. And I feel you, because that's me. That's me. I mean, you see me talking all loud in here and everything, and I'm excited and making these videos with joy. But I don't. I typically don't go to very high energy venues. I really don't. Like, every time I am in one, I'm looking for the exit right away. Like, I'm really looking for a way to get myself out of that, because I'm just not like that. Like, when I get into a high energy venue, it actually starts to deplete my energy, because it's uncomfortable. I have to put myself in there, and it's just uncomfortable. And so, you know, but here's the thing, like, I want you to, this video is really about embracing the low energy. So it's not about really getting to high energy, even though I will make a video actually on how to, push yourself and be able to, properly adjust your energy in case you really do need to put yourself in a high energy venue, because you will once in a while, because who knows, you may have a purpose in life, and you need to do whatever it takes to get there, and one of those things might be to get yourself in a very high energy environment. So or you just have to be high energy at some sort of meeting or something, a gathering, and so you don't want to be the quiet person, because for the most part quiet people never get what they want. And it's not because they don't deserve it, but it's just because for the most part you sort of have to speak up sometimes and just say what you want. And if you're quiet, well, nobody's going to know what you want, so nobody's going to give it to you, unless of course you get lucky. But that's not a very good strategy to implement when you're actually serious about getting something, or someone for that matter. So how do you embrace low energy? So, like I said, right now you may not notice this, but I'm making these videos, and I made the previous two on very low energy. Like, I'm just like, oh man, if you saw my previous video, I felt like I was gonna fall asleep in it, even though, like, even though it was a very interesting topic that I was covering. I myself was very, like, I'm pretty tired right now. Like, I was working really hard last night, and it's just like crazy. Like, oh man, I'm so tired. But I'm here, I'm making the videos, and yes, I may be a little bit low energy to some degree, but the thing is that you have to accept that as an introvert, low energy is like your zone. It's your default. It is your place of comfort. It is really where you come home, really. And be okay with that, because you're an introvert. This is something that just naturally is going to happen to you. You're just going to feel this way for the most part, unless, of course, you consciously put yourself in a high energy situation. You consciously want to, take proactive action to feel more high energy, like I'm doing right now. But for the most part, you will be low energy. And the thing is that it's not really low energy. You see, it's perceived as low energy because you're not putting energy out there, through your voice, through your hand gestures, through your body. You're not putting out that high energy through that. And because of that, people think that you're low energy. And to some degree, you could say, yes, you are low energy. But what people don't know is that us introverts, we can actually channel that energy into something more subtle. So for the most part, like I said, I'm a very calm person. I'm very low energy for the most part. Like I'm pretty chill, pretty relaxed, and I have a blast. I have a blast of a day, without even having to talk sometimes. But how do I do that? The only reason I'm able to do that is because I'm actually putting out high energy, but not in the way that most extroverts expect you to put out that high energy. You see, I put out my high energy when I start working, when I get to work. And who knows, this might apply to you as well. Who knows? As an introvert, you may have your particular activities that you do that are very low energy, like reading a book, maybe writing a book. Maybe you enjoy writing. Maybe you enjoy music production. Maybe you enjoy writing blogs. Maybe you enjoy I don't know. There's these amazing, really cool, low energy. Maybe you enjoy video editing. Maybe you enjoy programming. For that matter, maybe you enjoy gaming. And for the most part, these are all low energy sort of activities because they don't require a lot of physical work. But what they do require is a lot of mental work. There's a lot of mental energy being expended in these activities if you really think about it. You see, extroverted people don't really consider this, but there's a lot of energy that's been put out when you're doing these activities. So, for example, you're gaming. There's a lot of energy, a lot of concentration that's going into that game because you want to win that motherfucker. You either want to win the game, you're playing against what was it called? Like the virtual player, the CPU, I think, or something. Yeah, something like that, right? Like you're either trying to beat the computer generated opponent, or you're trying to take down like one of your friends if you're playing online or something, and you want to win. And so there's a lot of concentration that's required in order for you to win, especially when the games get very strategic. And introverts, for the most part, tend to pick games that are very strategic because it helps us dial into the game and go really deep into it and be able to focus and put all of our energy there. Now, there's a lot of energy, like I said, being channeled in there. If you put the extroverted person to play that same game, for the most part, they probably will take that game as a joke, and they probably wouldn't do as good. And that's because they're not able to channel that energy properly into the game. And instead, they gotta channel that energy out there when they're talking, when they're expressing themselves, when they're making hand gestures, when they're doing a very physical activity, as opposed to the introvert. And then think about like writing. Writing takes a lot of fucking energy. I mean, I myself am a writer. I write like pretty much all day. I do writing for marketing. I do writing for my books. I do writing for, what was I gonna say? Yeah, well, I do a lot of writing. I do blogging as well. I do a lot of writing. And yeah, let me tell you, like it takes a lot of energy in order to be able to put something together. It's not easy, especially since like most of the writing that I do, it carries an intention. You see, it's not just writing for the sake of writing. Well, I was gonna say I also write when I compose music because I'm a music composer as well. So I write like a lot, and each of it has a purpose. Not all those writings are the same. Like when I'm writing for books, I gotta write a particular way. When I'm writing for marketing, I gotta write a particular way. When I'm writing a song, I gotta write a particular way. When I'm writing a blog, I gotta write a particular way. And it's very different. These are all very diverse types of writing. It's not the same. And so there's a lot of concentration. There's a lot of energy that's being expended right there. But you see, a lot of extrovert people don't understand this. And so here's what you have to understand, that while you may come off as a low energy individual to the people around you, to extroverts pretty much, just realize that you're not. You you are and you're not. Let's just say you are low energy in their eyes, but you're not low energy with the knowledge that I just explained here, because you're just because like I said, your energy is being channeled into something else. And so, should you take the time to explain this to extroverts? Maybe you can throw this video at them. Of course, you don't have to explain to them, because for the most part, uh, like I said, I mean, most extroverts are not very good at comprehending things like these, because they think that we're making up excuses and stuff like that for our behavior and for who we are. But the thing is that this is our nature. This is who we are, and this is really our strength and our advantage to be able to, channel our energy into like introverted activities like these. Because if we weren't able to do that, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do. I mean, think about the programmers. Programmers are amazing, and all they do is sit all day. They're coding there, programming for hours. I remember doing programming for a little while, but then I stopped because I just realized it wasn't my passion. But I mean, it's not that it was hard. I understood for the most part. I was able to do the basic programming like HTML and CSS and all this stuff, to create websites, and a little bit of PHP and JavaScript, and those things were fun. But at the end, I realized that this isn't for me. I just don't enjoy it. I just don't see myself doing anything like creative or anything just cool for that sake, with this knowledge. So I just pretty much dropped it and moved on to the next thing, because it just didn't seem very promising for me. But not to say that it was hard. No, actually, I had a good time. I had a good time learning all that programming. I had a good time, making a couple websites and designing them, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty cool to make everything work. How this code, this line of code, works with that other line of code, and then sometimes I would put a code. I would change up a code. I would change something about the code, and then it would kind of ruin a lot of things, because, for those of you who are programmers watching this video, you understand that messing around with one particular piece of code can actually cause, changes in other parts of the code, because then it's just not matching. And then and some of these things are subtle, so you won't notice them until you actually go and test whatever it is that you created with your programming, whether that's a program itself or whether that's a website or anything. But there's the deal, you don't have to feel low energy, and the thing is that you're not low energy. So pretty much what I want to say here is that you should pretty much treat energy as neutral. Okay, so don't treat it as don't think that because people and extroverts are telling you that you're low energy, that you're actually low energy. The truth is that you're a high energy individual. It's just that you don't channel your energy through speaking, through action. Well, yes, action, but not through your body. You don't do it through talking. You don't do it through expressing yourself. You do it through your craft. Whatever your craft is, that's where your energy is being expended. And that's fine. That's beautiful. That's what the world needs, if you really think about it. Programmers, like I said, they've done some amazing stuff, amazing programs that we use today. There's people who probably designed this camera right here who were introverts, who took the time to craft out the entire circuit board in order to make sure that all the electronic parts worked and functioned the way they were supposed to, and all the little parts in there as well, and everything. And there's just so many things that introverts have done, but there's no way those things can be done if they're not able to channel their full potential and their full energy, their high energy, into that craft in order to create that amazing invention. So this is it. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification icon, and keep your energy high. And I'll see you guys in the next video.